Well, hey, good morning to all of you. Welcome to the week. Woo! Welcome to the week. We're moving from August to September. This feels fast and slow at the same time. I don't know if you're having that sensation, but like all of a sudden it's the end of the month. But this year seems to be going very slowly to me. Sometimes it speeds up, sometimes it slows down. It just seems like, right? It just seems a little bit herky-jerky. If that's the word, if that's the phrase I'm going to use, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it with pride, okay? Herky-jerky. All right, let's see where we go. This is for those watching, a message for those watching, please. This is the week. This is looking into the week morning message for August 31st. We are going to have a full moon in Pisces. I am going to do a special reading about that. I'm going to add readings to the channel about the full moons and the new moons. They're going to be called readings and rituals. So we're going to be looking at ways to work with the energy. Not just like, hey, here's the information, but ways to work with the energy. So I hope you like that. I hope that's of assistance to you. And I will start putting those up. I'm going to start doing that Tuesday, so that's going to be for the full moon in Pisces this week. Don't forget we have Mars going retrograde next week in Aries. So that's going to be a big one. We'll probably do something special about that too. Okay, that's going to be kind of a biggie. All right, let's see where we go here. Messages for those watching. If you're wanting to know how we got here in 2020 and where we're going, I did a reading on Friday. It was alive and it kind of crashed and burned. So we made it just a regular video. We glued the two parts of it together, and I'll put a link below if you wanted to see that, okay? Orphaned, go the distance, regeneration. So some of y'all are picking yourselves up after a disappointing situation. It could have happened a long time ago. Like I said, the herky-jerky nature of the time. It could have happened a long time ago or happened just a short time ago. But I feel like you're sort of picking yourself up and dusting yourself off and start all over again, right? And that's what the going the distance piece is here. And by doing that, by sort of leaving behind or not stewing in the feelings of orphanedness, okay, by not stewing in that, by letting that go, and by being like, okay, I'm going to take whatever that disappointment was, and I'm going to use that as jet fuel. Rock on, okay? Using it as jet fuel. That's pretty good. Now, what's going to be happening again, this resurgence here, regeneration, I can feel that around the March. March is well, it is about Aries, okay? So it is about this. So between the retrograde in Aries, Mars and Aries, and March, I keep getting this, like this 6 month, I know it's winter here in the northern climes, fall and winter, spring and summer in the southern hemisphere, but there's something here that starts next week that's going to grow through next March, okay? That's going to be happening. And it's because you have decided that it's not a loss. It's not really a loss. Whatever happened was a pause, or it was how you looked at it. You thought it was a loss, but it's really not a loss. It's not like, oh, dodged a bullet. It was something leaving your life. But the message you took from it when it happened is different than the message you're going to realize about that situation. You're going to realize that that was something that was necessary at the time to purge certain things, to end certain things. It was necessary and good. And when you get to this regeneration from next week through March, you're going to see like, wow, that was totally and rightly necessary, and it was not a loss. It was a growth. It was growth. A growth? It was growth. Yes, that's correct. Sun underneath, the Leo energy is pretty loud here. Ace of Cups, World. Queen of Cups. Gemini energy, my goodness. Page of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands, loud fire energy here, Page of Wands, inspiration, this brand new energy of the Ace and the two pages, right? It's the freshness of it. I feel like you could be dealing with someone who is a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or a Gemini. I've also got Leo here. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Gemini, Leo, Aries, Sag. All right, so we'll continue to look at those. But this person, I feel like you're dealing with this person. You're making decisions to move yourself forward. I feel like you might have a hesitation because this person is somebody who you thought was going to be a love, right, in the past, and then it ended. The new beginning got snuffed out before it started, really. Before it even started, it kind of got crushed by something. Whatever. And you might have taken that as to mean like that wasn't meant to be or something like that. But this person has deep feelings for you. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Gemini, Aries, Leo, Sag. Deep feelings for you. Okay, I feel like they're going to say that. I feel like you could be talking with them. The Gemini energy is a choice. You've made a choice about this past person. Right, we're releasing the past. What we're really releasing is what we thought it was. What we thought it was. So for some of you for some of you could have someone coming back from the past that was sort of a false start. Okay, it was a false start. It didn't really go anywhere. It wasn't really anything. So it's almost like it wasn't really a thing. So to say this is a lover from the past, I don't think so. I think that was just starting. There was something starting. The timing was off. Okay, the timing was off. And so now there's going to be some kind of conversation that you have with this person. And there's a little bit of lack of clarity. Like you're wanting to make a decision to do this, to move forward with this person. But I feel like what happened before is making you pause. Right? It's making you pause a little bit because you're like, oh no, I don't want to go for the person in the past. We're done with the past. Let's move forward. That thing that happened in the past didn't really happen. There wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. I'm going to button this. It wasn't a thing at all. It didn't move forward. It didn't do anything. So what's going to happen here, Nine of Cups and Queen of Wands, passion, love, wishes fulfilled. Ace to the 10, or Ace to the 9 here makes the 10. And that is a twin flame connection. So for some of you, this could be a false start that you had in the past, and now you're inspired to move forward with it. I feel like, let's get more clarity around this person here. This Queen of Cups that you're dealing with. I just want to know about that. I'll look at the zodiac signs, but I just want to know about this particular person who's showing up as the Queen of Cups. Eight of Pentacles, Hierophant, High Priestess, Page of Swords. So this person is offering something very small, Page of Swords, right? Maybe a text or two. Maybe just a, hey, how about like lunch or something like that. This person has been working on their own ability to commit to things, to be grounded in things, their own intuition. They're working on that. Okay? They could have kept all this secret, or there was something about secrets connected to this person. So they have done some good work here. I like Taurus and I like Pisces there. Right? And they've done some good work here. Three of Swords, Four of Wands, Six of Swords. What's on the bottom? Queen of Cups. So this is for you here. This is like, yep, there was a heartbreak in the past. Really thought it was going to be a relationship, and then you're moving on. And then here's this person again, Queen of Cups. So whatever you manifested in the past, it kind of created some kind of heartbreak. The purpose of that lesson, the purpose of that false start. Eight of Wands, World, Page of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Nine of Cups. The purpose of this false start was to have you learn something. Page of Pentacles, to have you learn and appreciate a grounded situation, to have you end whatever fantasy or end whatever thing is related. Also, this person had to end something that it couldn't have happened, continued to happen if you were around. Something like that. But they do want, that's you. This Nine of Cups, that's the person, you're the person for them. Actions and advice for you. Two of Swords, Six of Wands. You win, baby. You win. Queen of Pentacles. I like that. So I wouldn't let this person into your heart right away. Okay, that's what this Two of Pentacles is saying to you. It's like, okay, so this person shows up, and part of this orphaned lesson was to end seeing people as fantasy, and seeing not seeing people clearly. Okay, so give yourself a chance to see this person clearly this time. I feel like you might have fallen victim to fantasy last time, or just in general. Just in general. It doesn't have to be the same person. It can be somebody who's showing up now. Some kind of heartbreak in the past has you learning that you need to see people more concretely. You need to see people for who they are, not who you hope they be, right? All right, Justice, this is what's been blocked. Justice, Two of Wands, more decisions being blocked. Four of Pentacles, holding back. I feel like you thought that this was wrong. You were wronged. You were maybe treated badly or something like that in the past with love in general. This is not just this person, okay? This person is showing up now for you to like test all of the lessons you've been learning. Test them all, okay? Messages to you from your higher self. Seven of Pentacles, Lovers again. King of Wands, Page of Wands. There's something interesting about, I keep seeing this. So like I was telling you, I do a tarot class. If you're interested in the tarot class, the link is below. Every couple of weeks we do a live Q&A, and in that someone asked me about my hatred of the pages, and I'm feeling very strongly now that what I wasn't seeing about the pages in the past was that they are a pivot point. They're a moment in time where you become inspired to do something. And I feel like you've spent a lot of time being in this fantasy about people, being in this, it's not low vibration, it's high vibration, but it's something that keeps getting you hurt because you're not really seeing people clearly, okay? So this now gives you an opportunity to choose to see someone in high vibration if they are. If they're not, Page of Wands, if they're Page of Wands and they're not in high vibration, you're seeing that too. So that's kind of an awesome thing. The Page of Wands is also a message about becoming inspired. Take your time with this. King of Wands, Queen of Wands here. So this is moving into a passionate place. Let's see where we go. Ace of Wands, definitely. Three of Pentacles. Devil energy. Woo! Seven of Swords. Oh my word. Ace of Cups. Moon. Sun. You got to shed some light. I feel like for some of you, this was a cheating scenario at one point, okay? And you thought that this was going to happen. It didn't happen. This person it didn't come together. And it was because that wasn't meant to be. It was a lot about your own fantasy about what was going to be. And so now you've got an opportunity for someone to show up for you here. And either they may tell you about, right, the Eight of Wands here. They may tell you about a cheating scenario in which they participated, or for some of you, a small portion of you, this was the person who it didn't move forward. There wasn't really any, it was an emotional affair, okay? Maybe not a physical affair, an emotional affair. So there's a big difference, but they're still affairs, okay? They're still affairs. And the thing that binds the two of them is the fantasy element of what both people are engaging in is a separation from what is a commitment, a separation from what is being presented. It's fantasy. It's put in that realm of fantasy. Both people who are in the affair are engaging in that fantasy. And at some point it became real, okay? It crashed down because it didn't move forward. The fantasy element, so if you're coming across a person who has had a marriage end because of an affair, then you know that this is what's taking place here. It might not have been your affair, but you may have engaged in third parties in the past too. So what's needed here is the awareness, the awakening of the fantasy in terms of, what did I think I saw? What did I think I experienced? What was real? What was not real? And what is it that you want moving forward? So if this person is coming back around after an affair with you or an emotional affair with you, I'm feeling emotional affair, that's when there's genuine feelings between two people. There's no sex, there's no physicality to it, but it does have the same impact, okay? Because the person is sharing their heart with someone outside of a commitment. So that, I feel like they've had an ending, and so now, how is that going to work? What's going to happen around this idea of, well, if that was happening in the past, what's to make it not happen in the future with another person? How are we not building a third party scenario again? All right, how are we not doing that? So what needs to happen is we need to, for Ace of Cups to happen, here's Ace of Cups again, Moon, Sun, Sun again. We need to shine the light into those dark spaces of why affairs happen. Take responsibility for that. In order for this new beginning to happen, the 3 is you, me, and God, you, me, and the commitment, you, me, and the relationship. And let's get to the bottom of why that went down. I did see this the other day too. Okay. So before anything can happen, this is still just a promise. Okay. Before anything can happen, this deep dive into moon energy, shine the light in the dark corners of this, right? In the dark corners of this. Whoopsie, come back here, right? Shine the light in the dark corners of this, and, let's get it all out. So Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, so that can be a new beginning. So it can be a new beginning. It can't be a new beginning if the light isn't shined. It's just sort of an acceptance or a continuation of what happened before. And this is true whether or not you've ever met this person before, okay? If this person shows up for you, it could be a situation they've dealt with in the past themselves. Same with you. You could have had situations where you weren't understanding your own worth and value, and so you allowed for third-party situations to occur. All of that needs to be healed for this new relationship that's coming in to be real, to happen, to unfold, to not just be potential. Because the fantasy is just believing in what you're seeing as the relationship instead of it's just potential and there's a lot of things that need to happen. Is this person doing those things? I don't know. I'm just living in my fantasy. Okay. So yeah, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, 9 of Cups. Face the fantasy. 4 of Wands, so you can do something new. So Fool can happen. All right. So I just said I see Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I see Leo, and I see Gemini. So let's look at, if you're dealing with a water sign. If you're dealing with a water sign, Death, there's Scorpio. Moon, Pisces. 6 of Pentacles, has to be more balanced. 7 of Wands. I would resist this person until it can be balanced. Okay? And that can mean for some of you, that can mean until the divorce is final, right? Justice happening here. Holding back until a divorce is final. Holding back until the healing from divorce is final. Okay? That's a bit different thing than just signing papers. The healing really needs to happen here. Healing from living in fantasy. Healing, that's sort of like, I'm not worthy of something real, so I'm just going to execute this fantasy. All right, so Lovers, Gemini. You're dealing with a Gemini, 8 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, High Priestess, Ace of Cups. Wow. Okay. So if you're dealing with a Gemini, the communication is going to be really important. This has a very, very strong opportunity to move forward, right? This is potential on steroids. What's going on here is the holding back, the fantasy, the holding back of information. You know what that's like. You and or the Gemini person are going to need to more highly attune your intuition. You're going to have to do that in order to have a new beginning. It can't be about someone holding back information. Nope. And that Queen of Swords is going to be really important. Queen of Swords, 9 of Cups. You're going to have to look strongly at your fantasies about situations. You're going to have to look at it. Okay? What's real, what's not. Ask questions. Queen of Swords, no joke, right? No joke. That's Gemini. That's with Gemini. That's with a water sign too. If you're dealing with a fire sign here, Aries, Leo, Sag. If you're dealing with a fire sign, Wheel of Fortune, that's Jupiter, 6 of Cups, 2 of Wands, 3 of Cups, Celebration, 7 of Swords, Devil energy. Okay, so this situation that may be happening now, because Wheel of Fortune is divine timing, and this is also Jupiter. Jupiter is forming a nice trine in September. Okay, forming a nice trine, and I will get more information on that. I will do some more stuff on this as we move forward, because it's kind of like a week or so away. But it's protection during the Aries, during the Mars retrograde. Jupiter in a beautiful trine is sort of like, hey, you know, this is you're undergoing something that's going to be serious, but just know that you have luck on your side, you have the universe on your side, you have things that are, you know, backing you up. This is your spiritual, you know, your spiritual self, your connection to your guides is what needs to be backing you up here. Because I feel like this person could, you know, talk a good game again right out the gate. Okay, they're coming back around that time between Mars and the Jupiter trine. I'll have to look at that. Jupiter trining Moon, I think. I'll have to look it up again. But if you're dealing with a fire sign, they could offer you an affair again. So Queen of Wands, 10 of Swords, Ace of Swords. So the answer to that is no. And I feel like the Queen of Swords here looking at, hey, this person, this is what I want. I want this awesome kind of person, whoever this is showing up, especially if they're a fire sign, they could just offer you an affair again. So you're going to need to ask them straight up. So are you married? And if they are, nope, not doing this. No, not doing it. Also, if they're not married, but if they're like in the middle of the, you know, divorce, the papers haven't been signed, my advice here is for you to wait for the papers to be done. Okay? But the way you do this is you're going to need to be the Queen of Swords. You're going to need to be asking a lot of tough questions. Don't be shy. Okay? You don't want to go through this again. You don't want to deal with this again. And whether it's a new person or a person from the past, it almost doesn't matter. The lesson is coming back around to give you a chance to be the Queen of Swords. Be the Queen of Swords. Okay? The lesson's coming back around again. And there's an opportunity to fall into it again. That's why lessons show up again. Are you ready to move forward, or are you still living in that place of fantasy? Okay? So this could be the one. Release your ex, children, forgiving and learning. That's for that other person. They're somehow still tied to the ex. For some of you, I just want to say this to you. Legalities, there's some kind of tie to their ex that they're not willing to talk too deeply about. Maybe financial, something like that. This person is not really completely done with that. Okay? Forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. There's a lot of forgiveness here. okay? The situation's already resolved. Create positive thoughts, create positive results. So you are getting an opportunity here to do what you should have done a long time ago. With anybody who shows up on your radar who's in a third party, who's married or committed to someone else, and they show up on your radar. So this is your chance to be Queen of Swords. I'm only focused on what I want. And what is it that you want? Do you want a committed relationship with someone who's free and, you know, doing their healing work and all this kind of stuff? Do you want that? If you want that, then you got to say that. You got to say it. You can't just, because a lot of fantasy, and I find this to be true with people who either have not really good with boundaries, okay? They can just assume that the other person knows what it means to be in relationship. They can just assume that, well, you should just know what I need, and getting pissed off when someone doesn't do what that is, right? That's very passive aggressive. Well, in a relationship, this is how it should work. Yeah, I know that, but we do need to say these things out loud. You can't just be like, you know, I mean, it's nice when people naturally do things. Like, I don't really want to tell him to like bring me flowers on Valentine's Day, but at the same time, it's kind of really unfair if you don't let this person know when you have boundaries. What are your boundaries? What are your desires? And so when you guys, this is how people know, without it being like right in your face, like, hey, here's what I want from you. I want this and this and this. How that usually works is when you have those conversations about your life, you're getting to know each other. That's the time to insert those comments and be pretty straightforward about it. Oh, I broke up with that person because they lied to me. I broke up with that person because of a third-party situation. I'm not into it. I don't do that, and I'm not going to do that. See, you're talking about other situations in your life, but you're delivering the information. And so that person, if they're not good listeners, then, I mean, who cares? But you're going to need to reinforce those boundaries. So it's not just enough to say them. It's needing then as you move forward they need to be reinforced. You need to have consistency, and it's like training. I know that sounds awful, but it is. That's what you're doing. You train other people as to how they can treat you, and so you're going to need to learn to do that. You know, people just don't. You assume everybody's like you. You assume everybody's going to do what you would do. You're going to assume all that kind of stuff, and that's going to get you in a lot of trouble because you're going to be disappointed by people all the time. If you think people should just know, well, I can't stand, oh, well, I'll give you a real life example. I can't stand it when people mix the cereals in the boxes. My mother used to do that because of space situation with our cabinets. She had like all these cabinets for cooking stuff and every single spice in the world, every single, accoutrement to cooking you could imagine. So that took up a lot more space in her kitchen than in most people's kitchens. So as a result, we had a little tiny cereal cabinet. And she hated cereal because she thought everybody should have a hot breakfast. She was a chef, okay? So she didn't like this whole prefab idea of getting a box of cereal. But, in a pinch, as you're getting ready for school, it really does help to have Cheerios and stuff like that. So, Cheerios. So, as I got older, she started becoming more passive-aggressive about her cereal weirdness, that she didn't like cereal. And she started mixing the boxes of cereal. And I was affronted that I would open up a box of Cheerios and there would be buckwheats in there. And for those of you who didn't grow up in the 70s, like me, 70s and 80s, buckwheats are the most horrific, awful thing you can imagine. I'm sorry to the makers of buckwheats. I know that they were healthy. It was like wheat flakes. It's like Wheaties with honey on them or something. I just thought they were horrific. And I like Wheaties. I just don't like the honey. I don't ever put sugar on my cereal. I don't like the honey. I just didn't want it. So she would mix stuff, and I would be appalled that she did that. And so for years and years, and finally I said it to her out loud. I'm like, what is this craziness you have about mixing cereals? Because I was mad when I would find it, and she'd be like, ha ha ha, I don't care. That's my cereal. That's my cereal cupboard, and that's all it's going to ever be. And she said, well, darling, I really hate cereal. I think you should be eating something a little more healthy or a little more proteiny for breakfast, and I think this is awful. And I'm like, oh, so this is super passive aggressive then. She's like, you're reading too many psychology books, but yes. Okay, so don't mix the cereals, okay? Don't mix the cereals. Don't make somebody else guess as to why. I just thought she was being a jerk about the cereal. Turns out that was just a byproduct. It was like, I just need my kitchen to be the way it is, right? But there's like this byproduct of screw you, I hate cereals. So try to be a little clearer with people, okay? Do me a favor. There's the cereal mixing story. I knew it was going to come out one day, and there it is. All right. Happy morning. Happy week. Cereals.